The blockade began overnight, our time. What do we know about what's been happening in the Strait of Hormuz since?
Well, the effect has been fairly immediate. Ships have changed course and they've turned back that were intending to unload cargo in an Iranian port. And there is very little traffic along the Iranian coastline, and most of it is that very familiar pattern of ships hanging around the approaches to the Strait of Hormuz on either side, either the Persian Gulf side or the Gulf of Oman. Mm-hmm. So it's been an immediate effect, and the intention was to close off the entire Iranian coastline. That appears to be what has happened.
And tell us, what is a blockade under the law?
A blockade is, in effect, an action taken by a belligerent, a country at war, to prevent ships entering and leaving ports or other facilities, coastal areas of the nation with which they're at war. In this case, the Americans preventing shipping entering and leaving Iranian ports, oil terminals and other facilities.
Mm-hmm. So, and how would you describe the aim of this blockade by the US?
Well, it may be a continuation of the negotiations that recently failed. Mm-hmm. Those negotiations apparently failed because Iran refused to accept the take-it-or-leave-it offer of the United States, primarily around denuclearization. If the intention here is to blockade in order to force Iran back to negotiation, or if the intention is to more long-term force capitulation around some other objective, then it may be a very long-term blockade, because Iran has shown itself to be unwilling to take it or leave it offers, and has also shown itself to be very resilient in the face of other attempts to strangle its economy through sanctions and even direct attacks.
Mm. And, I mean, what do we know about what happens if a vessel breaches the US blockade? Because we've had those mixed messages, the language from Donald Trump, as we just outlined, and the softer language from Central Command.
Yeah, Central Command has said that it will subject shipping to interdiction, which means it can stop and search and seize or capture vessels or divert those vessels away from Iran. I don't think there's much motivation for capturing vessels, for holding on to them. That would subject them to other legal processes in things called prize courts, which aren't going to be to anyone's real advantage. The other sort of shipping that might approach the American naval blockade, of course, is Iranian shipping, and especially if it's military shipping. The Americans have said they've largely destroyed the Iranian Navy, about 90% of it. That leaves a lot of small attack craft, which is a more disruptive tactic. And of course, they've announced that they will treat those crafts very much in the same way that they treated narcotic vessels that they've attacked recently.
So if this continues, how vulnerable is Iran to the effects of this blockade?
Iran has been resilient in the past. It's changed its economy. Oil is still a mainstay, but it's not its main export product. Its main export product these days, it's about fourth actually, and its main export products are around things that might surprise people, like plastics, agricultural products, organic minerals like urea, which are of very great relevance to the rest of the world, including Australia, which needs to and has recently secured a supply of urea, so that's fertilizer. The immediate effect may not be apparent. Oil, of course, will surge in price, and to some extent that might offset the revenues that it might otherwise have earned from oil. Nevertheless, the a blockade always has effects on international trade. It has effects beyond the country on which it's imposed because it's a trading nation, and nations with which it trades and which rely on it for income, but also for other products, will be affected. Long-term effects of blockade are devastating. We've seen historically that blockades have been not used. I mean, primarily they're used in order to prevent a country conducting hostilities, but their indirect effects on civilian populations are devastating, especially as vital supplies can't enter the country.
Claudio Bozzi, lecturer in law at Deakin University, thank you for speaking with us today.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.